Yeah.
So today, in the middle of our tech chaos, we wanted to talk about the involvement of BCHIP in the local chambers of commerce. So in Bucks County, there are three. There's the Upper Bucks, Central Bucks, and then Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce. And why don't you talk about what it's like for a nonprofit to be involved?
Well, the chambers are just such a good way for us to connect with folks that we don't most often have an opportunity to connect with, right? So our nonprofits, we're very used to working closely together. However, the chambers allow us the opportunity as nonprofits to work with those that are for profit, as well as, many of them actually support additional work specifically related to what nonprofits are doing, like advocacy, or there's the Lower Bucks Chamber has the nonprofit committee or the government committee, or the health and wellness committee. So when they have those opportunities for our team to participate, it allows us to connect with other professionals in the community doing similar work.
Yeah, and you and I have been to events. It's just a great way also to, get the word out about what you do. Nonprofits sometimes struggle to find people, and what better place than at a chamber, people who care about the local community, greater Bucks County, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, all that good stuff. So awesome. And tell us about the award you guys just won.
Well, yeah. So we were selected by the Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce for the Nonprofit Award. And that's an award that honors those in our community whose service and community spirit reach far beyond everyday business success. That's kind of their description of that award. So we won the nonprofit category. We celebrated that at their Champions for Commerce. I'm sorry, no, the Champions for Good, with a theme around the new movie, Wicked, of course, that is out. So it was a wonderful event. It was visited by Glenda at the Fuge, and several of my other colleagues were recognized. So St. Mary Medical Center was one of the sponsors and did a
Oh,
beautiful opening speech. Kimberly from St. Mary did a beautiful open welcome. And then Jefferson Bucks was recognized. One of their community outreach people were highlighted, and she does a beautiful job for them. And then some other for-profit organizations were also acknowledged. So it was just really nice to be there with our community partners.
that's amazing. And congratulations. I
Thank
mean,
you.
it's a winning awards is a wonderful way again to get your name out there so people, have an idea of the important work that you're doing in the committee. So let's talk then about why you got that award. Let's talk about some of your advocacy work this year.
Well, I appreciate that. So BCHIP's been very involved in advocacy, particularly around behavioral health, and really trying to advocate for some of our most vulnerable folks to get the services that they need. And I think what was really nice about the award is, gosh, we have some incredible nonprofits in Bucks County, organizations like the Opportunity Council, which I have the pleasure of serving on their board of directors, or NOVA, a network of victims assistance, a women's place. Um, Family Service Association. So there's so many folks doing really good work. So for BCHIP and our small little footprint to be recognized by any large organization like the Chamber was really, really flattering, and it was really humbling. So it was nice to be included in that work. And to your point, kind of just getting a little away from the advocacy thing for a minute, I know when I started at BCHIP, BCHIP's been around a long time. And yet I still feel like I encounter way too many people that when you say, I work at BCHIP, they're like, who's that? Or what's that?
Right.
And thanks to you and some of the work we're doing here, and then also thanks to, the engagement in organizations like the chambers, I really think we are starting to see, a significant change, a swing in that, where now I can, walk into a chamber room or walk into a room where there's other, community leaders, and there aren't too many folks who haven't at least heard of BCHIP.
Right.
So I really believe the chambers are making a big difference in helping us with that.
Great. And I'll tell my famous story of how so many people, I was at one of your events when we first started working together, and, someone said how instrumental you guys were in bringing together the entire healthcare community in Bucks County at the beginning of COVID. And all of a sudden, you guys knew who the players were, who needed to be brought in the room, and there was none of this like, oh my gosh, what do we do kind of going on. And so I think you guys really rose in not only, hey, we have this organization, but they're also really important to the work that we do.
I agree. Yeah, the pandemic certainly did put a spotlight on how great it is to have this organization, and the leaders have already established trust
Right.
in the community and have those that connectiveness prior to having a pandemic. So it certainly did help for sure.
Right. And you had some stats that you wanted to share also?
Oh, I just wanted to talk a little bit about our outreach. We have an outreach
Outreach.
associate. So it kind of aligns with some of this work we're talking about of just trying to getting BCHIP known in the community. And we were looking at some of this data in preparing for our last board meeting. And it just stood out to me that just this fall, so just in the last few months, our team has participated in over 14 community events. So reaching thousands of people. And our little outreach associate, Caroline Williams, has visited over 185 sites in Bucks County just since July.
Where
Yep,
does she go?
everywhere. She goes to laundromats, she goes to doctor's offices, she goes to libraries, she goes to childcare centers, she'll go to dentist offices, she'll go to thrift stores. She goes anywhere where anyone will listen to talk to her about what BCHIP does and our programs trying to meet those that are most vulnerable. I tell everybody that it's the best advertising money ever. I think better than any billboard, better than any paid advertising. It's absolutely the best. And so, because what's nice is when you have that kind of one-to-one or one-to-two, connection, then we have follow-up, and she brings that information back, and we get contact information, and we offer, additional follow-up for those organizations that are willing. And it's just really very effective. And so I was really impressed when I was able to review that data, like I said, in preparation for our meeting this week. And so, yeah, pretty amazing work that the team is doing.
Yeah, there's a theory about making sure that hair salons know what you do because everybody,
Ah,
you may want, oh, well, don't put anything else on her. It sounds like she
oh,
has a
she's
full
going to
plate.
hair salons now that you
Oh,
mentioned
well, then
100%.
send her in because everybody tells their stylist
Right.
everything. They're like therapists and financial planners and real estate brokers and all mixed into one. And so, yeah, that she may hear that people are in need of services, or they've got a neighbor, or they've got a sister, or whatever, and maybe that would be a riot.
You're right. Oh, that will be next. I'm telling you that. Well, we did that during COVID. There was some work during COVID working with the barbers, the barber shops to try to really increase or decrease vaccine hesitancy and encourage people to get vaccinated. And so that just kind of fell off my radar. But with you saying it, yep, here we come.
Yeah, and I got to say, one of the things, and you mentioned it before, you as an executive director have a real interest, passion for mental health awareness. And so, even just getting information out to hairstylists about 988, which is, and one of your favorite topics that Samantha and I talked about recently on one of these calls is the help. Well, it was, what was it called? Not helpline, but
Findhelp.org or
Find
Peter
Help.
Navigate.
Right. You love that thing. And
I do.
so if someone is having, a housing crisis, they're having a food crisis, or, they need mental health services, therapists and, hairstylists should know about this because they're the ones that people talk to.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So, well, we like to be right here.
Love that. That's going to be fun. I'm going to walk right out of my office when we're done and tell Caroline, guess where we're going next.
Awesome. Everyone take a couple.
Yeah.
Okay, well, great work with the chamber and getting the work out and doing the amazing work of BCHIP as always. We did have some tech issues. I will share this on the Facebook page if it's not there, because I think we short circuited somewhere. And you'll see it around for this wonderful information.
Thank you.
Until next time, Kim.
Sounds good.